Hello, adventurer, and welcome to our Heroes of Theros actual playthrough. As always, it is a safe for work, story-driven D&D campaign. If you're a first-time viewer, we recommend starting your quest on episode 1. Otherwise, stick around and be transported to the mythic world of Theros. Last time, our heroes found themselves in the presence of yet another god of Theros. Erebos, the god of the underworld, seemed to know what the wandering heroes were in fact mortal. The group tried to reason with the sulking deity, but couldn't seem to find the right price for the negotiation. Informing them that he would make his decision later, if they even survived to see him again, Erebus departed with the body of his slain brother Perforus. The group gathered themselves before they were set upon by not one but two Phylaxia, left as a departing gift from the ruler of the underworld. Using their honed powers, our heroes of Theros bested the skeleton guardians before continuing on their journey. Following the wall once more, they realized they had reached Phylias, the final destination to those uninspired souls who had passed on. And that is where we have left off.
Can we see the wall continuing?
Mm-hmm. Yep. See, it just stretches on into the distance until it disappears on the horizon.
It's the wall that
But
never
then
ends.
there's nothing else but little tufts of like wheat or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then just dirt. Like there's no structures, there's nothing.
You see what might appear to be a city sort of springing up against the bleak outline of the horizon, but very far distant away. It's the shapes you can't even make out, but the way that it's like set up against the horizon makes you think that that might be some sort of structure.
Who do you think we're going to run into here?
Who aren't we going to run into here?
Probably Hubert and Dubert.
You never know.
Did they die?
No, I'm just assuming that the world is destroyed.
I mean, their triangle is big enough. I bet one of them has died.
Well, I guess there's one way to find out who we'll meet.
Keep heading along the wall then.
Personally, I hope we don't meet anyone we know.
Yes.
Doesn't seem like a great place to be.
Then
Yeah,
again,
it seems as we make our way through these, I keep hoping that the next one is happier, but so far doesn't seem like it.
I mean, it's getting a little better, right?
At least no one's trying to kill you
Yeah, yet.
yet.
And
That's
just then you see. No, just kidding.
Roll for initiative.
Well, I can scout ahead a little bit.
All right.
I'll go.
And-
120 feet ahead of the group.
Exactly 120 feet.
At all times.
Okay. All right.
I'm counting my steps every time, and then I ask him.
Are you
How
are
many
you
steps did you
moving?
take?
Are you moving stealthily or are you just going normal?
Stealthily.
Okay. All right, roll me a stealth check.
Ooh, natural 20.
What?
Wow.
Plus.
Wow.
I was hoping for the
wow.
double. I don't think I've ever gotten a double natural 20.
First roll of the night, net 20.
That's
That
talking
is
about
For
a
success.
29.
Okay, yeah. So you all watch as Callan just sort of like disappears into like this expanse of wheat. Like quite literally, like he just kind of vanishes.
Like, holds up a
in
stick
front
in his
of you.
god.
Yeah. Like the wind rustles the wheat and like
He's
it like kind of like blows dust in your eyes a little bit, and as you like open your eyes, he's vanished.
He's gone.
And then you see like a little head pop out 120 feet in front of you.
Like a prairie
Like a
dog.
meerkat.
Yeah. And then I go back down.
I have found some evidence.
Somebody died here. Sorry.
Bring back Vent Man.
I'm sorry.
What? One of my favorite characters I've ever played.
That's great.
It was so good.
I'm gonna go analyze it with science.
Okay, so, are you looking for anything in particular as you're scouting ahead?
Just movement.
Okay, there isn't much in this first little bit, but as the group progresses forward, you do see some movement. Few hundred meters away.
Big, small.
Regular. You see that the
Regular.
movement appear to be humanoid of some sort. But there's many of them.
I'll say into the ring. There's something ahead. Humanoid. Do we think it's more of those skeletons? What are they? Phylaxi?
Phylaxia, yeah.
Phylaxia.
Are they tall? Or are they regular size?
You know, pretty regular. I would say not really average, not small, not big, just regular.
Are they regular to your view now? Or would they seem to get larger as they become closer?
I think I'm gonna have to go with regular on this.
Plain old regular.
Well, we haven't quite seen any of those. Those Phylaxi are usually fairly large.
They are a
So hopefully
a
they don't
distance
come
off.
smaller.
Yes. Hey, they might. It might be a new thing. They might be smaller.
Every time you kill it, it just shrinks.
just
just one size.
Plus-
All Jefferson did was just smile. He's like, yeah.
There, we do
I don't
probably
know.
have still those two.
They do now.
Hey,
Sorry, what?
We still have those two that could potentially be chasing us, so I don't think we should dally for too long.
All right.
Just don't start a fight.
And if it's a tree, just run. Just run from
Run.
it. Every time.
Why are we running from the trees?
Never trust a tree that's alive. It's just a code that we live by.
Okay.
We always run.
Until you have to run after one.
Until we did have to run after one once.
That's surprising.
It was a twist. Nobody was expecting it.
So,
Should
thought you'd have to run
should
from
we
or
move,
to tree.
Should we move stealthily?
Yes. How close are we to the wall?
as close as you want to be. I'm assuming you're using it to sort of guide your pathway through.
Mm-hmm.
We're just-
Can we just kind of like stick close enough to the wall to like not be seen from a far distance?
Mm-hmm.
kind of you get like we're sticking towards the wall, but I'm not necessarily moving slower until we get closer to whatever it is that's ahead of us.
Can we cronk
Okay.
down the wall stealthily?
Yes.
All right, everybody, roll me a stealth check.
Do you want me to?
Yes, my specialty.
No, you can keep yours, Callan.
On. Oof.
Nat?
Oh.
Yeah, except I have to roll with disadvantage.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're not like me.
That sucks.
Mm,
What did you get,
Drop that.
Phylias?
21.
Okay. You are able to move pretty stealthily to a certain point, and here's why. As you approach these people, you notice that the wheat disappears, and that's because these images, these figures that you see, are actually harvesting the wheat. You see that there are several dozen workers out with scythes that are cutting the wheat down, gathering it, putting it onto into like baskets that they're putting on their backs and walking into this city, which you can now see a little closer. Still a distance, but you can definitely tell now that there is a city.
So the uninspired are forced to harvest meaningless crops for eternity?
It appears so.
I think that it's getting worse. I know that if an hour or so ago I said I think it's getting better. I think this place is the worst of them all thus far.
Arming is the worst.
Well, I mean, what's the point?
Fair.
I think that is the point.
Meaningless tasks.
Meaningless tasks. Remind me to stay inspired.
Well, I guess we can assume that they are not here to kill us, like the Phylaxi, but do we want to just make our presence known?
Maybe we don't make a show of it. Maybe we just try to
Walk up
past.
and pretend we belong here.
Yes.
Right.
You. Okay, and how do you go about doing that?
I would say we just kind of, I don't know, put away our weapons and things of whatever we're holding and just kind of slowly walk past. At least that's what Alondros would do, and just kind of slowly walk out as if there's nothing out of the ordinary.
Give him a good Theros version of a howdy neighbor.
Yeah. What are they wearing?
That's a great question. You take notice of this pretty quickly, Londros, since you are very appearance minded, not in a bad way, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they are all wearing gray, like tunics and togas. The men are wearing like gray togas, simple. The women are wearing just gray dresses, and they're all the same color. Almost like they don't really stand out against anything around you. Like even this wheat that normally wheat seems even more vibrant in the real world, as funny as that may sound, because wheat in and of itself isn't that vibrant, but this wheat here almost seems dull and gray and sort of matches their apparel.
Hey, I would like to use my... I forgot what it's called. My cloak.
That's right. That can
That
change.
changes. Yeah, the
Yeah.
cloak of many fashions.
That's
And
right.
I'm going to make it look just like one of their... They're just plain gray robes.
Yeah, you look exactly like one of them, and you see their. Why don't you? What's your passive perception?
18.
Okay. You notice that despite being visibly similar in the way that you're dressed, you do notice that there are very few satyr here.
Mm.
In fact, you're the only one that appears to be in this group.
Okay. And I would turn to the rest of the party and mention the clothes as I'm kind of taking off my gold rings off my horns and off my hands and placing them in my pockets.
Yes, I
If
did
we really
notice
want
that
to-
too.
Yes, do we have any way of disguising your clothing as well?
The only thing I can think of is the dirt.
I don't anymore. Now that I don't have the hat. Do we think they're gonna care? I mean, if they're ended up here and they were uninspired and didn't do anything with their life, then why would they care here?
That's a good point, actually. And if push comes to shove, hopefully I can try to convince them that you're with me and everything's all right or something. I'm not sure. We'll come up with something on the fly, right?
Yeah, we can be your prisoners.
We'll just roll in the dirt.
I want to try and just gather as much wheat as I can and just hold
Okay.
it in my arms, just to kind of cover my body.
So you notice something as you're gathering wheat, you notice something peculiar. And that's there isn't like a set, like the people who are harvesting the wheat aren't necessarily continuing to harvest the wheat. You actually see that there are people walking from the city, picking up sides, and they're out and they're cutting just enough wheat to fill a basket. And then they take that basket themselves and then begin to walk into the city.
So it's just like a meaningless task. This place terrifies me.
Well, they're just doing just enough. Because they're not inspired to do more or less.
That's actually a really good thought.
Yeah.
That was really smart. Way to go.
So you can gather a bushel and carry it sort of in front of your face, but you would look out of place.
Just grab a basket.
Yeah.
Oh, is there like a plethora of baskets?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go grab a basket. As I walk over, is anybody looking at us? Are they acknowledging?
There have been a few. Actually, roll me a perception check.
Wow, I'm on fire tonight. 21.
You have noticed a few individuals glance over, but no one has really stopped what they were doing in order to investigate anything further.
What is the... Like you said, there wasn't very many Alondroses.
Yeah,
Satyrs.
satyrs.
Satyrs, yes.
Yeah.
What is like the main race that we do see? Is there any one specific race that we do see?
A very, very, very many humans. You see. Oh, I'm trying to think of all the races that exist in Theros. You see primarily humans. There are a few Tritons that sort of shuffle in through the assembly line, and not really any Minotaurs.
Do they
A couple Leonin
do they
come
all
through.
come in and go out the same way, or do they have separate
Mhm.
entrances?
Yes, you see that there's like different sections. So as you notice, like as far you're standing on one side of the wall, you can't see over the other because it's tall enough you can't. But as you're looking away from the wall, you see that like it stretches on. This sort of harvesting stretches on in great expanse. And in the time that you kind of spent here watching this, like the harvest has even progressed from where you came from, you know, several
Okay.
dozen feet. Like there is progress being made. And you see that there are like where people are walking from the city, you see that they're walking to a specific area, right? So like further away from you, several hundred yards, you see there's like another line of people walking from the city, doing some harvesting, gathering the wheat, and then walking back to the city.
Do we want to go to the city, or do we just go around it?
Do we need to go to the city?
I don't know. It doesn't really feel dangerous. They don't really care.
My curiosity would like to at least look.
Alright.
Especially if they're not dangerous. Get hurt.
I mean, we are the only mortals who will have seen this and hopefully make it back. It would be nice to at least give a brief report of what we have
True.
observed down here.
We must remember, if we do look, we might find things we don't want to find, like people we know. So prepare our minds.
Yes, it's an excellent point. Continue onward then.
So, are you all grabbing baskets then and sort of like joining this procession?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. You would great. So you all grab your baskets. Are you collecting wheat to go in it?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Everyone
you all.
else.
Yep. So for those of you who will, I heard Thalassa go. Mm.
I just wonder if this is gonna lock us into something weird. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. So you all grab sides. And you all sort of stand, and you notice that this procession is pretty timely. You see everybody standing at a distance, exactly far enough for a scythe swing, so that this harvesting moves in this almost perfect line forward. And without missing beats, you see people are rotating in. And so you're able to sort of mix yourself in with this procession. No one really pays too much attention or cares enough to interrupt. You all gather a bushel of wheat, put it in baskets, and begin your walk into the city. And as you approach, you see what appears at first glance to be a normal city.
Yeah, great.
You see sort of these large buildings, which you're accustomed to seeing in places like Melitus, Akros, any larger scale, even Neolantis to an extent. But as you actually begin to enter the city, you notice that these buildings are off in some manner. They're all gray stone block, and there appears to be no structure, rhyme, or reason to it. Alondros, you take note to this especially. Though the different polis in the living world were created by different cultures, there always seemed to be some sort of plan, some sort of style, some sort of intention behind the construction of the city. Right, in Akros, you had the main keep at the top of the cliffs with a winding road and city that entered, downward, basically this fortress built on this rock. In Melitus, you had this grand city built in a bay, protected naturally by small rolling hills, sort of this incline up to a large university which you attended, and even Setessa, when you had visited so very long ago, though its architecture was natural with the world around, had intention behind it. There were, city centers and areas set aside for specific things, but as you walk further into the city, there appears to be no rhyme or reason, and the buildings are massive, too big to be normal buildings, and seem to be filled with emptiness. And you see that there are people everywhere. Actually, this city is very crowded as you're walking in procession with these people that are taking in this wheat. You're passing others that are going to similar locations, but as you look around you, you see there are other things happening. For example, you see in one building, people are walking in with large, like, iron ingots or bronze ingots. And you see as they're walking into this building, they are putting them in these furnaces and pouring out molten metal into these molds. You see these people are taking these ingots and quenching them in water. And then you see they pick up the ingot and they follow the procession, and then you see that procession eventually leads right back into the same cycle. And your procession eventually ends into a large building. And you see in this building there are large threshing tables, massive spaces where people are taking the wheat and hitting it against stone blocks in order to take the actual individual wheat kernels out of them.
How big is this city? Like, mile wide, like compared to Akros? Because Akros was a big city.
Yeah, so Akros is big, but because it's on a mountaintop, it's smaller in total, like, area than Melitus. It didn't seem that big at first, but as you're walking through the city, like, it has to be massive, like as big as Melitus or bigger.
And do we see, like, people building anything? Like, is there any structures that look like they're being constructed?
So you're sort of in this threshing building right now. On your way in, you didn't really see any, but if you want to go out and sort of look for some, you can. But again, you didn't see much other than the one street that you walked into.
I'm curious who is organizing all of this. If there is somebody who organizes all of this, or if it's just like laws of the land, everybody, kind of like in Nerino, where they just aimlessly wander.
It almost appears as whatever their occupation was in life, they just continue down here. I mean, with the metal works and the farming, maybe it's just a continuation.
And still, even with us being in this crowd of people, nobody's really like we're getting glances, but everybody's just kind of like, meh.
I take it you're not threshing the wheat, right? You're just sort of in there looking.
Yeah. I want to set my basket down.
Okay. You see that most people are pretty consumed with their work. But there are a couple people that seem to be getting a little agitated, and that's mainly just because you are like slowing the process almost. Like you see people are like kind of pushing past you, like giving you looks which are a range of confusion to almost disdain.
I think we're better off if we don't try to interrupt the process.
Yes. And is it the same people that bring in the basket that are doing the thrashing?
Yes, so you notice that people are bringing their basket in. You see they're threshing the wheat, and then you see they are gathering the wheat seeds, the wheat kernels that they are threshing, putting them back in the basket, and then exiting out of the building, all still in procession.
It feels
Well, we
too-
have
Go ahead.
two options. We finish what we started, or we break the norm. As I gesture to these the baskets that we're holding.
When I put my basket down, does anybody notice? Like, I'm gonna step out of the line and just set it down.
Yes, but again, it's not the routine doesn't break.
I don't think they care. I think they care more that we're not keeping
Stopping
with their
them.
pendulum of time.
All right. Well, is there like a corner that's kind of empty that people aren't really going in?
Mm-hmm.
I'd kind of walk over and set my basket down in the corner. I guess this will serve as a reminder that the heroes of Theros once visited this place.
You know, we could
I'm
like.
sure it will never move.
I doubt it will. We could start a touring company or something when we get back. Like, hey, underworld tours. We'll take you to see your loved ones. You'll probably regret it.
You'll probably die.
But
Yes,
Um,
I'm sure
oh.
that Erebos would be happy with that.
he doesn't have to know.
He seems to me like a fan of capitalism.
Yes. We'll cut him in.
As you all are sort of taking in this scene, what is your passive perception, Vasilis?
Oh no. 12.
Across this massive threshing room, sort of intermingle,
No, not her.
I feel like I already know what's gonna happen.
Not
intermingled sort of in the faces, you think you see for a moment a face you recognize.
Uh-huh.
But before sort of all these people passing, you can move and get a good look. You see that this person has turned and is beginning to walk out of the building in the procession with the baskets, and you think that you caught a glimpse of Sophia.
No.
I knew it.
Oh,
I called
no.
it. You guys remember the after show? I called it. I knew she would be here. And then whenever I see this person that I think looks like Sophia walk away,
Mhm.
is it a female then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
I can still see the back of this person. I'm
Yes.
assuming, as they walk away.
I mean, they're walking away pretty quickly. If you want to keep tabs on them, you'd have to follow. Like, to give you an idea, there's 1,000 people in this room
Jeez.
that are all threshing wheat, and they're just keep moving in and keep moving out. So it was like one of those things where, as you're scanning the room, you saw like this much of her face, and then as you kind of did the double take, like it's the back of her head and she's vanished in the crowd. But you
Right.
know, right, that they are following this procession, so you would know that if you follow the line, you could catch up to her.
I feel like Jeff is just reeling me into something here.
Well, you almost got it. Gotta be quick.
And I gotta bite. I gotta take it. I gotta take the bait.
Just do whatever Vasilis would do, is all I ask.
Yeah, I mean, Vasilis would definitely start walking. I'm trying to think of what to. I'll just say, follow me. I think I see someone I know. And then I'm just gonna go just to them, just to let them know that I'm leaving.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And then I'll go to follow after this person. Maybe not like hurrying and like shoving people out of the way, but like moving with like a little bit of a purpose to where I'm not causing a scene.
That makes sense. You're able to sort of bypass the people that are threshing, and there are gaps where you can sort of jump and move place in line. Roll me a perception check as you're trying to make out where she is as you follow her.
All right. $13.
You think you sort of can locate which line she's exiting in, because there are a couple lines that are going. The rest of the party, what do you do as
We're
your friend?
following.
Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
brought
Okay.
my basket and followed.
Okay.
We definitely don't want to get lost in this place.
No, and I so badly want to cause a scene, but I'm not going to.
As you all exit and follow this procession, the city again is very crowded enough to where you can't move very far or fast in line of the procession. But you see that this procession exits out the city, sort of where you came in, and you see people are out in a field, and you see people with these baskets set the baskets down. They clear a patch of dead wheat that has been cut, and then you see they take the wheat seeds from the basket and they begin to plant every seed in perfect row and perfect unison. And when you go out to the planting area, you see this woman that you think you recognize as she's planting wheat. She's cleared her area and it begins planting.
I think out of like fear and he has some hesitation.
Mhm.
The fear of it being Sophia, the fear of it not being Sophia. I think he stands back and waits and just watches for a moment, just not too far back, but not too close, just to wait and see, like when he turns around,
Yeah. And you see as she plants a row, she stands up and goes to move down to grab a handful of grain from her basket and passes, not by you, because I know you're not exactly right there, but close enough that you can for sure tell that this is Sophia.
Gosh. As she like passes by me, Vasilis is gonna go to catch her arm as she like goes to walk past him.
Okay. As you grab her by the arm, she kind of stops, surprised, looking down at the hand on her arm, and you see she kind of raises her head slowly and meets your gaze.
Sophia?
Yes.
It's me, Vasilis. Do you not recognize me?
And she kind of looks very She gives you a very, very long look. She goes, yes. Basilisk.
Is that all you remember of me? My name?
You're my brother?
Yeah. Good to see you.
And you see she kind of looks towards her basket. She goes, I have to finish my planting. And
Wait.
kind of like wrenches her arm out of your grasp gently.
Please, I don't know how much you remember, but I never got to say goodbye.
As she begins to grab another handful and begins to put the seeds into this gray earth, covering each one, she says, goodbye, but we've only just met. Why would you need to say goodbye?
Seems as much. Sophia, would you mind helping a stranger?
I don't understand.
I need help. I need your help. Tell me about this. What is this place?
What do you mean? As you see, she finishes her row and gets up and goes grab another basket. Handful out of her basket, I mean.
I'll just step away and watch, and just it's just too painful.
And you see as you step away, she doesn't pay much more attention to you as she finishes planting this section, and you see she picks her basket up and she begins following a procession in the direction of where the grain was being harvested. And you get the idea that this is where those people had been coming from. Is walking from a field where they had been planting, only to harvest and repeat.
And I'll just I don't know. I'll just find the group again, but just keep an eye on her.
Okay, I mean, she's beginning to walk out in the direction that you guys had come from. So, unless you are following her, she'll be out of sight before long.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming she follows the same procession, just going around in a circle, you know.
Mhm.
And I would imagine that we kind of kept our distance, but obviously we didn't let Vasilis leave our sight,
Mm-hmm.
so we wouldn't be too far away.
Are you okay?
No. But yes. Sad. I don't think there's any getting through to any of these people. She could hardly remember who I was. And then whenever she did, she forgot. Almost immediately.
Hmm.
If you had something that you needed to say, I think saying it, whether she hears it or not, would maybe be good for you, though.
Those are wise words, Alondros.
If you wish, we can stand off to the side and watch the procession until it comes back. Or we can leave, whatever you wish.
No, it's fine. I'd prefer you to follow, just in case we were to lose contact. I mean, we have our rings, but... Anyway, I should go catch her. One last time.
Right behind you.
Okay, I'm gonna run back over there. I'm gonna try to catch her again.
Yeah, these people aren't walking very swiftly. It's not like they're moving with this intense purpose. Everything that they're doing seems mechanical, almost. Very... I don't want to use the word clunky because that's not the correct word either, but it's not... It's like what Phylias had said earlier. It's not with any exceeding haste, but it's also not without... It is also without any, like, pauses or stopping.
Right.
So as you sort of jog next to this procession, you catch her. And you see her eyes just staring in front of her, carrying her basket, walking with this procession.
Sophia, I know you don't remember much. But I just had a few things that What?
Are you walking next to her? Are you
Yeah.
pulling her out of this line? Or...
I'll walk next to her. Probably out of just the sense that I get that she might not even, get out of the line. It seems like they all have their thing. I'll just walk alongside her and I know you don't remember much. But if I could just have a minute to speak with you, I would appreciate that.
And you see she just kind of turns and then just sort of turns back and keeps walking. Like acknowledging that you said something, right? Yeah.
Right. I feel like I'm just talking to like a husk of a person. Anyway, sorry. I need to say I'm sorry. I feel that, well, it's been quite a common theme for me lately that I feel like my actions have led you here. I haven't told anyone yet, but I'm the reason that Theseus ended up the way he did. The reason he had to leave the city, the reason you had to call off your engagement, end up eventually having to marry another. And I think after Theseus was gone was when you lost a lot of yourself. I think that's why you're here. And I just had to say I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it right.
And you see she continues to walk and just kind of blankly, yes, of course.
And then Vasilis just can't help but just grab her and give her a hug. Just pull her out of the line, and
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to envision this. Would you pull her out, or would you just stop her dead in her tracks and hug her right there?
I'll just say right then and there. Just embrace her there.
Okay. You see, you kind of pull her into your arms and stop her. And the rest of your acquaintances are watching as sort of others around are disgruntledly going around you. And you can feel her sort of resist it at first. Sort of this pull for her to participate in this task. It's compelling. But as you still just hold her in this embrace, knowing possibly it's the last time you might see her again, you can feel her begin to relax. Until finally she reciprocates the hug. And then you see she pulls out of it a little bit. And she puts her hands sort of on your face, fingers behind your neck, sort of holds you there and looks into your eyes, sort of for the first time since you've been reunited. And for a moment, she just kind of sits there and stares at you, and she smiles about a half smile and sort of nods, and then sort of looks over her shoulder into the procession and then gives you one last brief look, and then picks up her basket and begins walking again.
Okay. I'll just kind of take a backward step out of line so I could just continue watching her as she walks away.
Okay. Without looking back, she continues on until she's gone so far she's sort of melted into the crowd.
Okay, and I'll walk back to the group.
I would just give him a hug.
Thank you.
How did it go?
Well, not much conversation on both ends. It seems that the people here forget. I guess call it a blessing or a curse. After seeing what remembering's done to Proteus, there's just not much there anymore.
Did it feel like it helped you?
I do. It was good to say goodbye. She left unexpectedly in childbirth.
Take what peace you can in knowing that she suffers not. Without her memories or anything, she will feel no pain.
I agree. Thank you again for your advice, Alondros. Seems that hope is easily lost here.
And I'm sorry for what it's worth. As I'll kind of put my hand on your shoulder. I'm glad you got to say goodbye.
As am I. You know, I always thought that we might run into her here. I was hoping we would. I wasn't expecting it to be like that, though. I just wanted to see that spark in her again that she had lost. But it was just even more dull than before. Well, should we move on?
I think it's wise. As harmless as this place seems, I don't want to linger here for too long.
I agree.
Are you following the wall then?
Yeah.
All right. As you follow the wall, the path that had taken you into the city was not exactly next to the wall. And as you follow it back this time, the city isn't bisected by the wall. But it's very near it. And sort of right when you get to the outskirts of the city, the wall stops.
Like it just ends?
Yeah, so this conglomerate of destroyed, killed, defeated monsters, right, that have all just kind of jumbled up into this wall. You see right on the outskirts of the city appears to just end. You see that there are broken rocks and sort of dust and debris scattered at the base of where it kind of trails off.
Well,
It can't just end. This is our way out.
Seems the wall had just become uninspired. Just stopped.
maybe.
Oh, Callan, can you
Fly
feel
up
any
and see if I
direction?
can- Oh, yes.
or fly
No,
whatever we
I-
need?
I shouldn't have
You
assumed.
really enjoyed flying, didn't you?
Yes, but it had some pretty dire consequences, so
Did it have a downfall?
it was a good one.
Do you think it's much like the sea? We just can't see it, but it's there.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, it doesn't look like this wall like goes into the ground or anything, right? Like it's just a
Mm-mm.
stop.
I mean,
Yeah, and it's not like a clean cut, right? It's like crumples down
tapers down.
to nothing, yeah.
I wonder if it just hasn't been finished. Or all of these creatures are getting unleashed on the mortal realm. As we speak, and who knows, maybe in a week's time the wall will be even shorter.
That is something that I have not thought of.
Hey, I can keep us in the same general direction. I also had the thought, what if it's because we have to do something here and we've yet to complete it?
What more would we have to do?
I really want to hit a basket out of somebody's hand.
Change the norm.
It's the little chaos goblin inside of me that just wants to... Ooh. It's too much conforming and rule following.
Wouldn't that just call a god to us that we've already spoken to?
We don't know that.
You think it's that easy to call him? Just knock a basket out of someone's hand?
I'm gonna be honest.
Creating chaos, correct, yes.
It's felt pretty easy. I mean, we got a list. There's more that we've
That's-
met than we have not. So who knows?
You honestly think pushing a basket is our one task that we have to complete here?
No, I was just giving an example of something that I want to do.
Is there any other sign of another city or structure? aside
Yeah,
from the one that
roll
we just
me a
left?
perception check as you scan the horizon. You're not like past the city yet. This is sort of the outskirts of the city as you're approaching it.
Okay.
12.
Okay. Actually, as you sort of look in the direction that this wall would have been going, it's just running parallel to the city. You see a shape that appears to be the wall, just further along.
Well, the wall is there. It almost. Could I kind of look at the dirt? Like, does it look like something like ran through here, like a chain? One of those chains like fell down on the wall, or
Roll
but
me
then was moved or something?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. There's chains everywhere. Because there would be chains here too. Thank you for saying that. You had passed a couple chains walking into the city. There is not a chain here though.
There's one.
Oh no! Oh, sorry, folks at home.
Dang it.
He's
First
not
time-
perfect.
First time
We
we've
made it
ever done
this
that.
far.
Next time, no matter what.
We've
Did you see the comment on the
yes.
the one about
Yes.
Theseus? And he's like, honestly, I didn't think there were many, but then the whole Vassilis thing happened. I was like, yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah. Hey,
That's so
improv is
funny.
hard, okay?
That was so
pretty
funny. Improv is hard. It's even harder when it's not improv. No, just kidding. It was improv.
Obviously, it was improv.
There is no chain in this general. You see sort of off in a different direction away from the city. There is the shape of what appears to be a massive chain, sort of like fallen on top of itself. But it looks. What did you roll on your investigation
12.
or perception?
12.
Another 12.
Or that was just on the first
Oh,
perception.
roll an investigation check. Gotta roll something. This is D&D after all.
Could I? Yeah, there we go.
Could you what?
I was gonna say, could I roll an insight? But
Yeah.
I feel
No,
like
you could roll it. You could roll an insight.
okay. That plus 4, 14.
Okay. You, based on like the rubble that's around this, you also notice like some dirt and dust path that appear to be the material of the wall that leads into the city. So it looks like,
Like something
as opposed,
was kind of drug.
yeah.
I would relay this to the party. Do you have any idea of what something this large could have moved?
Something I definitely don't want to run into.
And that, unless it's the cities themselves that are moving, but that makes no sense.
Not much does here.
True.
But should we proceed past this gap?
Yes, I just keep an eye out for something large and moving, I suppose.
All right.
Should we maybe look around the corner of the wall?
Good idea.
Alright, you want to be sneaky boy?
I'll do it. I'll go sneak around the corner.
Hey, roll me a stealth check.
Um, 20. Sorry, my brain's not mathing. 26.
Yeah, you are as quiet as a mouse.
Any movement on the horizon, anything around the corner. Any tracks? A very obvious glance.
No.
I don't see anything. I think whatever it was is probably past. Could be like the keeper of this realm as well.
Or maybe the wall itself, as you were saying, came to life and moved.
Possibility. Are the chains here still attached to the sky?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I don't know.
Well, shall we continue?
Please. This place gives me the heebie-jeebies.
As you walk forward, proceeding where you believe the wall to pick up, you find another procession. You see a group of people walking from the city with like bricks laden on their back. And you see as they approach the structure, when you get closer, it does appear to be a wall, but it is not the wall that you've come accustomed to following. Rather than being made up of a conglomerate of petrified monsters, this appears to be a standard wall made from brick and mortar. You see as this procession walks out with this load of brick on their back. They set it down and they begin to build continuously on this wall in sections.
Perhaps
And then you
things are
see
getting
once
better.
they have built their section, you see they walk along the length of the wall, heading away from you.
Not a wall of bodies anymore.
It's true, but it also just doesn't feel...
I mean, it's not happy, it's still grey.
Yes. Oh, it's everybody's vote. Do we follow the wall? Do we... set another path?
Don't know if there is any other option.
According to my map, it's still in line with the other wall.
Yep, it is.
Landros. I think...
Yes?
I think Thalassa is... I think she has some insider information or something. She knows things. Keep an eye on her.
Right,
Oh, all right. Will do. And then I'll kind of give you like a little wink of like, sure thing.
I guess we follow this wall. This place... Is this place creeping anyone else out, or is it just me? It's too... It's quiet.
It's not chaotic.
It's not chaotic.
This is what neutral is.
No,
So I think that it's
this is
dull.
misery.
This is true neutral.
Is this where I'm gonna end up?
You're a little
If
too
you-
more chaotic than this.
Yeah, but if I'm striving for neutrality,
Yes,
is
but
this it? Am I just gonna be a husk for the rest of it? And as I'm saying it, I'll kind of look at Vassilis and...
It's okay. It's not your fault. Seems to be that's how it is here.
Yes, unfortunately.
you have a little too much drive to end up here. If you wanted to create chaos in the line, I don't think you're going to end up here.
It's true. just make sure to never lose your inspiration. Even the truest of neutral folks can be inspiring.
I don't see how any of you could fall short of Alicia.
Well,
Well, you
quite
haven't known us
kind,
for
but
that long. It's a very nice
Exactly.
compliment, but give it some time.
I mean, I know I'll go there, but whatever.
Will you come visit me?
We have a wall.
Shall
shall we?
we? Yes. As we're walking, I don't know why, but I just felt like there would be more options of a place that it's like, hey, you know, this isn't so bad. This could be an alright place for eternity.
There are no longer body walls.
That's a bonus for sure. But this whole everything is just...
Well, you saw your vision. What was it like in Alicia?
It was happy. Like, too happy.
Well, we have more places to stop before we get there.
Like everybody's playing games and it's like, oh, look at how far I can throw this javelin, and smiling and hugging. It was nauseating.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. I just want to blank. Just...
Well, this is blank.
Yep, you're there.
I believe so far the options are you live your life in a rage,
Mm-hmm.
you live your life in your turmoil,
Mm-hmm.
you live life in nothing, or you hopefully live it in happiness. Or you
Ugh.
don't, and you end up in the mires of punishment.
What is that?
Yep. Isurus.
Or Tizerus, yes.
No, yeah, it's also known as the Mires of Punishment reside in Tizerus. You are absolutely
Okay.
right. Yep.
Oh, good. A 20% chance of hitting the good one.
Yes. I guess we must make the most of our mortal life and hope that we can continue to do so in the after.
Here's the real kicker. We don't even get to choose.
It's true.
Maybe we just let the gods get destroyed.
It still wouldn't help us choose.
I mean, but this whole place would be... I don't know.
It would still
If
be what it is.
Maybe.
If it ceased to exist, where would the dead go? They need somewhere to go.
Perhaps everybody would go to Tizerus at that point.
Or
Or worse.
Alicia. I was thinking the same thing.
But
who
you
would
already
manage?
don't like that.
Someone
Us.
has to manage. Someone has to guide the souls from one place to the next.
Maybe if no one's there to guide the souls, maybe they end.
It's not going to be us. We have orphans to look
I'm
after.
just saying, touring company? Maybe?
I just
We would
think
have a lot of...
even
I
if
can't say it.
we don't agree with the gods, I believe that they serve their purpose, just as
Yes.
we might not like the way that the clouds look, but they are the mode of bringing us rain. The gods are the ones who said that they would sort souls. We may not like the places to be sorted, but without it, I think the souls are just lost.
I'd say some of them are lost here. I'd say being lost is maybe better than being tormented.
But where would they be lost?
At times,
Down here? This place would cease to exist. They would be lost up in the mortal
I
realm.
don't know the state at which I feel like souls should end, but I don't feel that my sister.
I'm not saying it's fair.
Would we all just become returned?
I don't know. I just don't want to find out.
Well, either way, we must walk as we converse.
Yeah, I would imagine that we will.
Yeah, you have been following this wall, and for the span of quite a ways, just as you suspected that this city sprawls for miles. It is absolutely massive. Crowds of people walking in and out of the city doing various tasks around you, sort of following this procession along the wall of these brick layers. You get to first, actually, as you're walking, you begin to hear a sound, sort of a repetitive, loud clanking that gets louder and louder as you continue to walk on. And finally you see the source of this noise, and you see, as you reach the end of the wall, and those who had laid the bricks shed their basket, pick up a sledgehammer, and begin hammering down the wall, hammering the bricks into dust. And you see they collect the dust and put it into this basket, put it on their backs, leave the sledgehammers, and begin walking the city.
Oh my gosh.
Do you think there's going to be a trail that we could follow?
Is it like a desert out here? Still?
It's
Like, I still
yeah,
picture
I mean, it's basically
Agony
just wheat.
a little
It's just wheat fields.
wheat
yeah.
fields. Okay, gotcha.
It's barren, but in a different way, right? Like, there's
Yeah.
no trees here. There's no other vegetation. Just planted wheat. And where isn't planted wheat is ground ready for wheat to be planted on it.
Gotcha.
And as you sort of are viewing this procession, walking back into the city, trying to determine how you're going to find your path to the wall again. And you get this idea that the wall that you had been following was knocked down at some point in order to create this dirt and dust that they're using to build this wall and then destroy it again. So you assume that at some point, somewhere, the wall will resume. How you know it, you just aren't quite sure where. But as you're trying to make heads or tails of this, someone sort of bumps into you, Alondros, as they are sort of like carrying their pack away from this area. And you see, as they sort of bump, they just kind of nod as if to say sorry and move on. And you recognize this person as your father.
Mhm.
And that is where we're gonna end this session.
Oh
Oh.
my gosh.
Aw.
Man. This is
So
like
fair.
the most depressing.
This place
Place.
sucks, dude. This place is
Yeah.
miserable.
Oh
Has anybody seen Halloween Town? Because it's giving vibes.
I haven't.
Honestly,
man.
I'm still getting Labyrinth vibes. Still lots of Labyrinth.
Great.
I meant
Oh,
to save
man.
this for the after show, but like whenever Erebos showed up and he's like,
Yeah.
follow me
He's
into
like
the
David Bowie.
underworld, to my castle,
Yeah.
Christine, or
Yep.
whatever the girl's name was.
Yeah.
Classic.
You have 12
Were
hours.
you
Or your big brother is mine.
were you guys expecting these people to be tearing the wall down
No.
No.
as they were
No,
building
but
it?
totally makes sense.
It's so perfect.
This
Shoulda-
place is just the worst.
Yeah, this place
Oh.
sucks.
I would
Yeah.
almost rather be in Nerno,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
because at least you have a personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at least you can have the regret. Like, as much as that sucks, like,
You
It
feel
would
something.
still make you
would
feel
feel
alive more than
something.
being here.
They're just a bunch of goldfish. They don't even know what they're doing. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Just
that's
lemmings.
That's. Ugh.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of
it's-
lemmings running around.
Mhm.
Yep. I'll read you the exact description of Phylias after we end this one.
They
But-
all be filing in. They're like files.
And
Yeah.
there it is, folks.
There it is.
Now
Rank
that's-
File
Phylias.
File us.
File us.
Yeah.
Phylias.
Phylias.
Phylias. It's a stretch, but I mean, you
Phylias.
never
We're getting
know.
there.
There
We're
might
getting
be a
warmer.
better one.
We're getting warmer.
Oh. Comment your best pun for the underworld area of Phylias, everyone, and we'll vote our favorites next time. Go check us out. The entire first season, anywhere podcasts can be found, audio version, 55 episodes of how this ragtag group got to where they are. And if you haven't listened to that, a lot of what has happened here might not make sense. So probably go give that a listen. And if you have listened to it, listen to it again because it's always good as a reminder. Don't also forget we have a season 1, The Curse of Strahd, led by local talent and fame Tyson Child. Awesome. Another kind of spooky. We've definitely got a brand
we have
here,
a vibe
I guess.
that we like to do.
We got
yeah.
a vibe.
Apparently.
Definitely kind of another spooky, ominous campaign to go check out. Very fun. And then, of course, all of our various one-shot, with more one-shots to come, which we love to play. Most notably, Connor's Alien one-shot. Please check that one out if you haven't. It's absolutely amazing. Flawless is the word I'd use for it.
Especially during the Halloween season, which
It's spooky.
it's
Oh, yeah.
like
You're looking for a little fright. Little
and
fright.
it's
Yeah.
just it's just 2 episodes.
Yep.
You can ease no commitment, no nothing. Like
Yeah.
go check it out.
Yeah. And is there anything else anybody wants to plug?
We love
Yeah, leave us a like.
Well, there we go.
Like, comment, subscribe, all those YouTube things.
Oh, yeah.
Turn your bell on. Let's do it.
on that notification bell, everybody.
We'd appreciate it.
That's
And
Connor
as
turning on
always,
his bell.
We love you.
Bye.
Goodbye.